All right. Charlie Burris, former Vols quarterback Jonathan Crompton. You are listening to the A to Z Sports Big Orange Game Day Reaction Show, brought to you by the Barton Jerry Insurance Group, Lipscomb Sports Analytics Program, Window Nation, and Factor Meals. We'll talk about those in just a bit. Game, as we do typically with these kind of snoozer games not technically over, but we're just going ahead and going. Second half, Crump, anything stick out to you? Anything of note?
Outside of Joey got his 200 yards. I mean,
They made sure.
and which honestly, I'm not a big stat guy. I'm like just in general, but that's one I'm glad Hype let go ahead and continue. You know, as soon as he got it, he was like, "All right, cool, you're done. Come on."
Yeah,
out.
that was a good move.
It was. I think it was the right thing because he's got a chance to. What is that? Was that 36 or 37? Do you remember?
It's one of those two numbers. 37.
In the record, 39 is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So if it's 37, he's got a chance to break that record. If it's 36, he's got a chance to tie it. So I thought it was a classy move to let him continue. In that sense, and then I like that we got a defensive score. And I'm not trying to. I don't want to harp on this way because dude, we're beating every living crap out of them, which we should. But I did say at halftime, I really wish our guys would just kind of, the old cliche, just play carefree, have fun. After Star Thomas's touchdown, did you see how just not exciting it was for a couple of the players? They just, all right, cool, here we go, jog off the sideline. That's the negative of playing non-conference games this late in the year. Is you get that, like, at this point, we're all, as fans, we are all ready for the big conference matchup, title game implications. You got Ole Miss and Florida on TV. You got Georgia and Texas coming on. I just don't like we're playing New Mexico State this late in the year. That's all. That's all it is. Because you could tell the guys were like, okay, we really wish we had a conference opponent this week.
Yes, they pretty much phoned it in, which is, as you're saying, not unexpected.
Yeah.
And as of right now, I mean, watching this is all just third string guys.
Positive, though. That is a positive.
Yeah,
getting some reps.
Yes, you're getting guys run that need it, and that's good. As we mentioned during the halftime show, I mean, for the most part, this is going to be about the Florida game. Florida playing Ole Miss right now. They're already down by a touchdown. That one's in Oxford. I think that's going to be a bloodletting.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but I just flipped it over real quick. Ole Miss just got a long run. So
it's over.
Barring anything crazy, they're on the 12-yard line already. Barring anything crazy, they should go down 14-0 quickly.
Yeah. Some things to mention that happened in the second half. You did get some injuries.
Yeah.
Wendell Moe went down for the offensive line. Who, I mean, if there's an offensive lineman that you do not want going down, him or Lance Hurd are probably your primetime guys that have played the best all season. And so that's not great. Hopefully he's fine. There was really no word, but he did go into the injury tent. And then yes, ideally, that's definitely one that you're going to want to get back. And was there a defensive? There's one that I'm not thinking of.
Kitzelman got hurt.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Miles Kitzelman. Went down. That one's not great. Thankfully, you got a couple of really nice young guys. One of those young guys dropped the most pivotal pass of the Oklahoma game, but hey, still, your situation there is not too bad. If Kitzelman does go down, although he's a big team leader, so that's kind of a shame.
Yes,
but we'll see. That's going to be Josh Heupel gets asked about it on Wednesday, and he goes, check the injury report. And then we'll just have to see Wednesday night exactly where that lands.
And it'll be the most, as planned, because everybody does it, vague,
upper body.
You're supposed to do that. If you don't do that, you're giving out information that doesn't need to be given out. So
yes, we'll see what he says, but those are big factors for this Florida game. There's no doubt about it, especially Wendell Moy. I hope he's okay, because you're going to need him in that game.
Yeah.
I will ask you this, Crump: if you participated in any games like this in your time at Tennessee, either as the team that had folded it up or against the team that had folded it up. I mean, Florida, we'll see what happens against Ole Miss. Maybe they have some life, but against Kentucky, I mean, they were just dead on arrival, had absolutely nothing to give. And when you play a team like that, I mean, what's the psychology on your side where it's this specifically where the expectation is you should smack these guys? Like, what's the psychology there as a player on the other side?
Well, I think it's a little different than what it used to be for the fact of the portal.
Yeah.
Now, their coach is fired. They don't know. They're all in limbo, all that stuff. They don't really know who's going to be at the helm next year. So a lot of these guys are, if they're thinking of it properly in today's world, they're thinking of it as, this is my free agent moment. I need get some tape against a top ranked team. I don't think they're just going to pack it up. But then again, like you said, you look, you watch that Kentucky game and you go, oh God, they were bad.
It was bad.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here saying how my brain would work is, if I'm on the Florida team this year, I'm going, I don't know who my coach is. I don't know if I'm going to be here. I need to go play balls of the wall as best I can to put my tape out there. Now, the counter side to that is, in doing that, you could, in theory, be playing against the game plan to try to help yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, where if you're going out there and you're playing selfishly, trying to help your own self for the portal, you could be playing against the game plan and ultimately hurt the team, which does happen. So honestly, man, I think it's almost scarier playing a team like that, like when Penn State played UCLA or App State played Michigan in 2007. Games that you go, we are the clear-cut better. I should beat the ever-living crap out of you, but I don't know how you're going to come into this game. I don't know.
That's a crapshoot, man.
It is. It really is. So for us, we got to, and I know Hypo will be doing this. The team's got to think that this is a national championship Florida caliber team.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they've got to be thinking that Florida is surefire in the playoffs this year. And I know Hype will be doing that because he's done well with all that stuff all this year. We're about to be 7-3. We are probably, I'm going to take a shot in the dark here, 6 plays from being minimum 9-1. So he's done a job with that. Does that make sense? And I know that hurts. I know that hurts to say, but he's done such a good job with that. He didn't drop the pass on 4th down against Oklahoma. But that's a learning moment for our young tight end. Those things. So that's what I'm getting at, is I really think that if he goes out there, which I think he will, and say, guys, listen, we're on the road in Gainesville. They're way, way better than their record. Don't play down to your competition, make them play to you, then we'll be fine. It's so much easier said than done. I'll say it that way.
It just scares me, and this will lead us into our first segment of the show. It scares me because if Heupel loses to Florida, and which would not be surprising because it's a swamp, and then Vandy's coming into your place and they got the playoff on the line, the pressure that's gonna be ratchet it up at that point is, oof. I mean it.
I mean,
The way
I understand what you're saying, but man, I can't. I don't know. I know I was brainwashed at 17 years old. Like Vandy's Vandy, Kentucky's Kentucky. I can't.
yeah.
That'll never go away in my head, and I'm laughing because I don't think any of us, and any Vanderbilt fan, can sit here and lie through their teeth and tell me that they ever thought that they would be a playoff team. Not this year, but just in general.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting. And I'm not making fun of that program by any means at all. It's just the fact of it's kind of the same way of going like, everybody really think Duke is a playoff team outside of basketball? No.
Yeah.
That's why I was chuckling. I'm going like, I mean, you're everything you said was right, but I'm going, dude, it's Vandy. Like,
but man, they're alive. They're a live football team this year. They got.
They're the oldest by age, the oldest in the SEC. They should be.
Yeah.
They have the most 6th and 7th year seniors. They should be.
Dudes.
They should be. Now they build a blueprint for certain. I don't think us non-blue chip, national brand recognizable programs to try to be competitive. Of every year, 60% of your roster will turn over because they're going to be 1-year players.
Yeah. And hey, more power to Clark Lee's. Make it work in a way that basically nobody ever has at Vandy. So credit to him. But
I don't know how long. I know this is not our subject, but I don't know how long he's going to be there. In the sense of, if he doesn't strike while the iron's hot,
yeah, it's going to be hard to do that every year.
You see all these coaches now getting extensions. Elko got an extension. Well, James Franklin's. They keep saying he's going to go to Virginia Tech, which would be a good fit for him there. A really good fit for him. These guys are starting to get extensions. Well, there are some really good jobs available that maybe his name's going to start getting mentioned for, because let's also be real. Vandy can't pay the money that an LSU or Virginia Tech or Penn State can pay.
Yeah.
They just can't. I just don't know if he'll be there that much longer because of that. That's what I'm getting at. Because he's done a job.
We'll see how that goes. And my main contention with all of that is just it's hard to describe how toxic this thing would go overnight if you lose that Vandy game. I mean, it's just you can't. You can't. You
dude,
cannot.
Trust me, I'm with you. I mean, I was a part. Or let me take that back. I was on the roster. I was in a sling from shoulder surgery in 2005 when we lost to Vandy with Jay Cutler. And that was, oh my God. I remember sitting there on the sideline going, what the ever living crap's going on? Because I'd had shoulder surgery. And that was, yeah. Like
now,
even
I think
that was not with playoff implications on the line, and or depending on what happens with Florida next week. And I don't, like I said, now, and I'll keep saying it. I'm going down this hill. I know if it does, God forbid it goes south and we don't win either one of those, he's still our guy. Like, I'm just being honest. We just need depth. I'm telling you, because of what he inherited and what he's done has been nothing short of a miracle, just to be real. I mean,
crazy.
And I've been saying that. I'm going to continue to say that. I know we're the better team next week. We just got to go. We have to get out of our own head about, it's been since 2003. We've won in the swamp, blah, 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 and just go freaking play. Because if we play and they play, we're a 10-point team.
Let's get to that point. A pretty volatile situation if Tennessee does not win these games, obviously. So I'll ask the folks in the comments, and we'll give our answer here. What is one word for how you're feeling currently, specifically, I mean, with this Florida game? That's the thing that I'm interested in. How are Tennessee fans feeling? One word and one word only for how you're feeling. Drop into the comments and give us yours for anybody that is watching. Crofton and I will give ours. but what is one word for how you're feeling with Florida on the horizon? Mine, I already see Nick says nauseous. That's the first one.
Yeah.
But
Stop taking Charlie's words.
yes, exactly. Don't. Yeah, you're taking my content, Nick. But I got to tell you about Window Nation. Replace your old builder grade windows with custom built high quality windows from Window Nation. Window Nation measures 3 times to ensure your windows fit perfectly and will keep your home comfortable year round. Their installation crews finish the job in 1 day or less, so you can enjoy the rest of your winter with minimal disruption. Get the windows you want and protect and beautify your home. Choose from over 1,500 styles and colors. They have an A+ rating for the Better Business Bureau, a 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory. You got to get in with Window Nation. Hurry. Their current sale ends soon. The read has stuff misplaced. Apologies. Let me see. The sale is this: 50% off all window styles, and you get 0% interest financing for 5 years.
Nice.
With Window Nation, take advantage of this end of year sale through November. 50% off all window styles and 0% interest financing for 5 years. That's Window Nation. All right. One word for how you're feeling with the Florida game on the horizon. As we said, Nick says nauseous. Justin says unsettled. Tony concerned. Jared apprehensive. Steve nervous. Restless from Billy Bob. Flavored, says Leslie. Is that supposed to be favored? Maybe just flavored. Dwayne, nervous. Chris, just win. He puts it as one word. Chad says worried. Stanley, hopefully. Papa J says sphincter tightness. And Tony says nervous. I'll throw it to you, Crump. One word for how you're feeling right
now. I mean, I'm gonna be the probably the only one. I'm feeling confident, even though Ole Miss just threw an interception and Florida has a chance to go 14-10. Don't care.
Oh boy.
Still feel confident because I don't know if they. Yes, it's a rivalry game. I get it. I just don't know if they've got the people that can match up with Brazel, Williams and Staley out wide. I just don't. If we can get them on the perimeter, that's advantage us.
Yep. I agree. Though.
Here it comes.
I'm trying to think the exact word I want to use because cursed crossed my mind, but I don't want to say cursed.
No.
That's too much.
Mind games.
I'll just say focus, because that's what this team has to do. You got to hone in on this thing, because if you let the outside noise of, hey, 20 years, yada, 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 whatever, you're going to go out and you're going to lose to an inferior team. And that's going to be despicable. Like, this will be at least in the last, since the sort of nightmare era took over 2010, the year after Kiffin bounced. Since then, I mean, this will be the most inexcusable loss to Florida that we've seen in that whole time. And there have been some truly inexcusable losses to Florida in that time. The 10-9 game, the 2014 game with the 4th and 16 or whatever it was, the Hail Mary against Felipe freaking Franks. Whatever. That. I mean, take your pick. This one will be, if it's not at the very top, it's right up at the top in terms of inexcusable losses to Florida. You can't do it. So I'm sick about it. I'll say you got to focus. You got to focus. Get your head in this game, because that's just what we see with Heupel's teams on the road at night. They just look like they didn't practice that week. And it's so discouraging every time it happens. And It can't happen. It can't happen this coming week. It just can't. Unless you want this thing to go toxic quicker than Danny White and Josh Heupel could ever imagine. You gotta be focused in. You gotta have a prepared team going into this one. Not to put too much weight on it, but seriously, this thing. Danny White has had a golden era here at Tennessee so far with all of his hires and everything he's done. This thing will make this dude's head spin if you lose to Florida and Vandy. I mean, it will be a 180 in a way that I don't think he can imagine. And
well, no,
so you got to win these games.
Listen, I agree with both of them. I agree with the statement about both, but we're not losing both, so don't worry.
Hey, you better be Vandy, yeah.
I'm just saying it. Vandy's Vandy, bro. Like, sorry. Listen, I don't care how that game goes. I'm still going to always say Vandy's Vandy. It is what it is. But no, I mean, I understand what you're saying. It just, and I see all the comments. I'm still going to disagree about Heupel on the road and this and this. I comprehend what you mean by it, but he's not the one that dropped the pass, or he's not the one that didn't make the block, or whatever you want to say. If we can go down that list again. So it's not always the coach in that sense. Does that make sense? Like, it's not. Now, as far as preparation, I'm not at practice. I don't know what they're doing, but he's obviously doing something right to have the years that he's had to get us to the playoff 3 or 4 years, whatever it is, after the freaking McDonald's money bags, right? Like, he's done something right and won on the road then. We can't say the 2022 South Carolina game. We can't help an ACL happened. Those things. So that I'm still going to disagree on the Heupel on the road. I know what, including all the comments and you, Charlie, I understand what you're meaning by it. I don't see it, because at the end of the day, players still got to make the plays. Heupel can only make the call. He prepares them for the call all week, obviously, but he can't make the play under the lights. Now, he's got to make the right call in the right situation. Tim Banks has got to make the right call in the right situation. But at a certain point, the player's going to make the plays. Like Deion Sanders. What did Deion Sanders say makes the best cornerback?
I don't
random question, by
the way. I have no clue.
The best corners are the best gamblers, like the best risk takers, the ones that understand. This may be a home run ball that way, but I've read his hips all night. I've read his feet all night. I'm going to jump this. It may be a pick six that way. That's at a certain point. A player, a dude, has still got to make a play. We can put you in the situation all day long, but you still got to make the play. Now, yes, there's a combination of both. I won't argue that. We got to have a combination of both to mesh properly. But you still got to go, hey, I can sit here and say it's a play action 1, 2, 3, ball to the inside curl. Well, what happens if I go play action 1, 2, oh crap, my O-lineman fell down? Am I just going to be a robot?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say is, it's not always the coach on the road is what I'm trying to get at. We still got to make the plays. And once again, I'm not trying to bring up the past, because we're like 6 plays away from being 9-1. If not even better than that. Hey, I get it. 5 plays make or break. 5 plays win or lose a ball game every game. You just don't know when they are. I'm just saying we're not that far off is what I'm getting at. Like Eli Drinkwitz, I think it was this past week, when they were like, oh, it's playoff or bust. He was like, then, so all but 12 teams of the whole country are playing for nothing? No. Winning 9, 10, 11, 12 ball games, including a bowl game, because that is still college sports. I'm the most competitive SOB there is. I get it. But we also got to understand where we were 5 years ago.
It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell to fans now with the nature of the expanded playoff. Like,
I get it.
That drops off, and I mean we've seen it in the numbers of stuff we with A to Z. Like the interest went from a ton and to, I mean, it didn't go completely away. A ton of people are still invested, but it's not the thing. It's just not, and that's the era that you're in at the moment. But
I don't disagree with that though. I see both sides. Is what I'm trying to say.
well, and don't let anybody who ragged on you on Twitter this past week hear you defend Heupel like that. They wouldn't believe it if you told them.
I know. They wouldn't believe it because never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna be generous. I'll be nice. I'll be politically correct.
Well, yeah, we gotta let that one, probably let that lie. But one of the biggest things that has to happen in this Florida game is that Joey Aguilar has to play well, which leads us to the next. Which leads us to this next segment, which is your quarterback grades for the day. And really, I don't know that I necessarily want to grade him for this game. We will, but I also want to talk about his preparation for this Florida game, and we'll do that after I tell you about factor. Quarterback performance is always the biggest factor in wins and losses in football. Nutrition is a huge factor for you in your health and fitness goals for life. Factor has more variety and more meals. Choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp at no extra cost. They support your wellness goals, even more GLP-1 friendly meals and the new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good for you fats. They sent us a box straight to my house. And my wife's been eating it for lunch every day. It's been very nice, very convenient. It's great stuff. You got to get your hands on some. Eat smart at factormeals.com with code ATOZ Sports 50 off. You can see it there at the bottom of the screen. Code ATOZ Sports 50 off, and you get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That is code ATOZ Sports 50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box and free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready to eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto renewing subscription purchase. Okay. I'll ask you first. Your grade for Joey in this game for as much as he played.
I mean, in all honesty, I did his stats a minute ago. 74%, 204 yards. Like it was solid. So I'll give it a B plus. You know, interceptions. Actually, I take it back. I'll give it a B, not even B plus. Interceptions were inexcusable.
Yeah, it's bad.
You know what I'm saying? Like especially next week, you can't have those. You can't. We've got to steal possessions, not give away possessions. Like, you know, in the sense of getting turnovers, and I'll get into this other part here in a second when we get into the Florida, but getting a special teams turnover. The only reason I'm gonna give him a B is only because it's completion percentage, and he went over 200 yards for the 30-something game. That's it. Other than that, it was just very. I wish it was more. I wish there was more sparkle to it tonight.
Yeah, I'll go C. I think it's average, just not great, egregious interception. And it has to. I got to be harsh on this one just because it has to be so much better next week.
You're right.
Has to be. Has to be. Again, not to put undue pressure on that game, but you kind of need to. And the
only reason I'm going to say I agree with that is because it's the next game, not because of who it is, just because it's the next game. It's on the road and it's a conference opponent. Because, I mean, let's be honest. We have the potential to go 9-3 or 7-5, and somewhere in between. Like, I know that's kind of taking the easy way out of saying it, but like that's just the reality. We can either go 2-0 or 0-2 in those two games. I shouldn't say it this way, but I don't know if we split.
You gotta win both. To avoid
just other fan chaos. Let's just call it like it is. Just from because then you're gonna regardless of whatever bowl game we go to, it's not going to be as exciting because that's today's world. And then there was a question, we can talk about this here in a few, and I thought it was a good one, just asking me what I think he needs to do, what adjustments between January and August. I do think there are some, and we can go over that in a few, but I do think that's going to start the day after Vandy before the bowl game.
We'll find out soon enough exactly how this team plays. I mean, it's going to be a really important week of preparation. Heupel always says good week of preparation, competitive balance or whatever.
Honestly, and I'm sure it really is. Truthfully,
competitive makeup.
Like I'm honest, I'm sure that it is, because at that level, you have so many good players, whether they're walk-ons or not, that you can have a good competitive practice daily. Because it's like, oh, Charlie, you're not doing good enough. All right, we're going to put Jonathan in. You know what I mean? Like wherever. Yeah. So it can always be competitive, but it is also really, really hard to mimic game-like situations unless you're going starters on starters. And I don't know. Obviously, I don't know how every team practices at that level. Everybody does it different. But that's the only way you're going to make game-like situations is to go good on good.
Whatever they do, hopefully it's good enough to get their head in the game for this Florida game, because it's just so important. I mean, I don't want to say that it's the biggest game of Heupel's time so far at Tennessee, because he's played he played in the playoff, but in a sense it is, because of what you would stave off by winning, the goodwill that you would gain by winning in the Swamp for the first time in 20 years, especially with it being the last game of the every year series. I mean, it's big. So let's finish with this. We'll get you on the record, Crump, for the Florida game, and get your actual prediction for what you think will happen in the Swamp next week, right after I tell you once again about the Lipscomb Sports Analytics program. Analyze, strategize, and revolutionize with the Lipscomb Sports Analytics program. It is an online program at Lipscomb University out of Nashville, where you can turn your passion into your profession and go beyond the box score, get off the sidelines and into the action with the Lipscomb Sports Analytics program, where you learn to make the calls that count. They're turning sports fans into data-driven decision makers in the exciting world of professional athletics. Go to lipscomb.edu to learn more. Lipscomb is not just watching at Lipscomb, we're not just watching the game, we're changing how it's played through our innovative sports analytics program. Again, lipscomb.edu. To learn more, go check it out. And with sports analytics in mind, Crump, what do your sports analytics say about this Florida game?
I'm going to be a little different than a lot of people, I think. I saw somebody put 21-10. I don't think he's a world beater, but Lagway can move. We struggle with mobile quarterbacks. I don't think he's a world. He is not Oklahoma. Say it that way. All right, he's just not in all aspects of his game, and especially mobility. So that is a little concerning to me. But I mean, there's a 14-10. Oh, never saw that. We're saying that's what Florida is. I'm going like 38-35 us. I don't know if either team stops each other. So I don't know if either team stops each other in that game. I just don't. It's either 38-35 or 10-7. Like
they do have Wilson out for the season. Is it Dallas or Eugene Wilson? The freshman wide receiver who came in kind of.
I saw something that I guess Tank something opted out for the rest of the year. I don't know who that is.
Yikes!
Another wide receiver.
And there were a bunch of news on their injury report. Yeah, so they could be phoning it all the way in. Guys just preparing for the transfer portal. Guys just preparing for the NFL. I mean, their season is well over.
I mean, and listen, I got no love for that university at all. But I do think it was very tasteless that a reporter asked the interim coach on how well he thought Lane Kiffin would fit in as the head coach at Florida, and that guy's trying to get that job. I'm like, why would you?
So bad.
I'm like, why would you do that to? That's a human being that is on that staff, and he is now the head coach of that staff. Like that, I didn't get that, so I did feel bad for that guy at the moment, but I got no love for the university at all. But I did feel bad from the human standpoint, going, you just asked what?
Like, they're coming for Lane, though, man. They are. Like,
I obviously the Skull Kids owners, I think brought it up is because they're playing this week. But I mean, and I don't want to say this because I don't want anybody to blow this crap out of proportion. But all these coaches getting like recent in the past like week long extensions, I wouldn't be surprised if LSU tries to come after hype at a certain point.
Everybody's talking about that. LSU, Penn State.
But that's because everybody that they were rumored to go after are all getting extensions that their buyouts are so massive now because they just signed them. And I don't think he would. I don't. But I could see them trying to at least interview him because, once again, look what he's done with our university with where he inherited it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't think he would go. I don't, because I think him and Danny are good enough work friends, but then also just friends that I think he would get another extension to stay. But obviously, we don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird that none of these jobs, I know they can't really fill up because the season's still going, but have kind of died down a little bit of the.
Yeah, if they lose to Florida,
right,
very seriously, I would not be shocked if he hops somewhere because I think he would go. I'll just restart my clock somewhere else.
Once again, I don't think he would. I just think they're going to try to get him. Is my thing. I don't. I think he understands. This is just me. I think he understands that there are certain programs in all across the country. There's not a lot, but there's a handful that you're just genuinely or generally not going to upgrade from. Like when it comes to a lot of stuff. Now, granted, I'm going to say one, and people are going to go, "You're an idiot." Not the first time you call me an idiot, and then I'm going to look at you calling an idiot right back. Because they've been down for a while. Every college program does this.
Yeah.
Right? I think Virginia Tech is one of those programs that you have, if you get the right person in there, you get a lot of good resources. You could do that. But then you got the Tennessees. I don't think you upgrade. You don't really upgrade from the brand of an Ohio State or a Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So coaches that are at those schools, to me, don't just typically up and leave because where are you going to upgrade to? You know what I mean? Like you can make a lateral move, so to speak. Like where would Ryan Day ever go?
It would purely, to me, it would just be to escape what would be coming down the pike if you lose this 40 game, especially if you lose this game. Where you're going, okay, this thing's turning a little toxic. I'm just going to restart my clock at Penn State or whatever. If the opportunity came along, I have no idea if it would, but I could see him making a move like that just to be like, okay, I'll start my 5 years.
I hope he doesn't. And I don't think he would. I could be wrong, but
it'd be bad if he did. That would be bad.
And when somebody asked, did he sign an extension? Yes, he did, but not for the dollars that these other ones they've made these buyouts now. Look at James Franklin buyout, Brian Kelly buyout, Jimbo Fisher buyout, buddy at Florida's buyout. Where the buyouts are so freaking much that it's one of those that, all right, say I'm the AD at the new school and I'm hiring Charlie, I've got to pay Charlie's buyout to that school now.
Yep.
Like, so I'm almost doubling my investment in Charlie. That's the reason why some of these coaches are getting these big buyouts. Is it protects themselves if they ever get fired, but it protects. So I don't know how much Hype's new deal, like the money was for as far as it buyout, whatever year it is, blah blah blah. But it makes things interesting because there's some teams that you go, or schools you can go. Lane Kiffin can't be the number one choice for every school. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he can only coach at one school.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you see these schools, like Lane Kiffin's here, and then Kiffin Lane's going to this school, like being funny. And Florida can't hire him, LSU can't hire him, Penn State can't hire him all at the same time.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, doesn't matter the coach. So that's my thing. Is like I'm hoping we're not getting backed into a corner of the job he's done that people are going to go, you know what, screw it. Let's go down that road. No. Let's call them and try to get him to Knoxville. I hope it doesn't happen.
You can't go searching for a coach unless some back channel has worked where you get Lane Kiffin. You can't be searching for a coach in this carousel. You can't be like that. That would be so bad if Heupel left. But you would be late into the coaching carousel already in a carousel that's absolutely.
Like I said, I don't think he would do that to us because I think maybe I'm wrong. I think he loves our university. I think he loves the university. I think he loves Knoxville. I think he loves where he's at and what he's doing. I'm just throwing it out there. I think at a certain point, the job he's done, I think teams are going to start calling.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
And that's a positive. And it's a positive if teams want to call your coach. It is. But I did see a comment earlier that I meant to address, and I'm sorry about it for forgetting. It did disprove my logic of, yes, we're in year 5 or 6, whatever it is, but look at, and I hate to say this because I'm not a fan of this program, not because I've done in year 2. It can be done. And that was the comment. Like, look what Indiana's done in year 2 with NIL and transfers. And they're right. They are. I'm sorry, whoever had the comment. I couldn't find it a second ago, but I remember you writing it. But you are right. Indiana has done a tremendous job in year 2, but it's a big BUT. They played a very below average schedule in year 1 and benefited from it. Say it that way.
Kurt Signetti is going to get some guys fired. If he hasn't already, he basically has already, probably. Just with his whole, why isn't it happening in year 2? If Signetti can do it.
It's the truth, though. Well, also, all right, let's take Elko and at A&M. I saw a picture a little bit ago, and it said nobody wants to talk about their undefeated in the conference, and they had a line drawn in the conference standings, and everybody they played were below us in conference, and it was like that's the only teams they played. So yeah, they're 10-0 for the first time since '92. Blah blah blah, but they're playing an Indiana style schedule from last year. But then they're in year 2, and they're ranked 1, 2, or 3 in the country, depending on who you talk to. Really, 3. But it's gonna be the same thing. And he's getting a 6-year extension this week. And but it turns into by going like you're right. It's going to get some other really good coach fired before they should because of the expectation. Well, Indiana and A&M did it. Well, they also didn't play the schedule that school, whoever we're talking about, played. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that was a very fair comment. I do. It's different today. It's just different.
It is.
Just call it.
We'll cross that bridge when it hopefully doesn't come. I'll put it that way. Just beat Florida. Just beat Vandy. Do that. I haven't eaten crump, so I'm absolutely starving.
Go eat some food.
The good time here. I don't know if it'll be a good time next week, but we'll be here on On the post game, the A to Z Sports Tennessee Volunteers YouTube channel. I am Charlie Burris. That's former Vols quarterback Jonathan Crompton. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. As always, y'all are the best. You keep this train rolling. Thank you. We'll try to make sure Fox Sports can't clip anything out of this one. If we got to edit the episode, we'll do what we got to do.
But hey, bottom line is there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. Don't really care. People listen. All the people in our comments are phenomenal because they know we like to go back and forth. But nobody, we don't have the disrespect and trying to do things because people want to act like they're hard and tough. No, just have a rational conversation and go about our day. We can agree to disagree. That's okay. That's life. But I do think we're all in agreement on where we're at as a program, that we are at a I wouldn't say we're at a crossroad, but next week's very important for us. We'll say it that way.
It's big. And we'll be here to talk about it. And the folks in the comments get us. So
yep.
That's what matters. Thanks to everybody who showed up to tune in. Again, that's it. Charlie Burris, Jonathan Crompton. Thanks for watching. And we will talk to y'all next week.